Welcome back to K-Astrology, and if you're new here, welcome. My name is Kaylin, and today I'm going to be doing your February 2021 horoscope. I also do monthly tarot predictions for all 12 zodiac signs, along with pick a card readings. If you'd like to see more content from me, please subscribe to K-Astrology. Now, I'm going to leave timestamps in the description box below, so please feel free to jump straight to your sign. For those of you who are sticking around, I'm going to quickly run through your sun, moon, and rising sign horoscopes and how they differ, okay? Your rising sign, otherwise known as your ascendant sign, will always be the most overall accurate horoscope for you. It does not matter how much you identify with that rising sign, okay? You could be an Aries rising, but you're a Cancer sun and you feel more like a Cancer. That's fine. The Aries rising horoscope will be the most accurate for you. Now, with your sun horoscope, this will pertain to your conscious will and your career and any goals and ambitions that you have. Your moon sign will be in relation to, your moon sign horoscope will be in relation to all relationships in your life, your emotional state, and your living circumstances. As I said, the rising sign will be the most accurate and will encompass all of those aforementioned things. Anyway, guys, thanks for sticking around for this intro. You can now head to your timestamp in the description box below. Hi Gemini, Sun, Moon and Risings. Welcome to your February 2021 horoscope. The month starts off with your ruling planet Mercury being retrograde in your 9th house. Now, the 9th house is related to travel, education, your world views or your world beliefs, and also your father. So with Mercury being retrograde here, I'll break it down into a few ways that this can play out for you. On one level, some of you may be rethinking your entire world view, okay? Your perspective of the world as you know it can be undergoing like a rigorous rewiring at this time, okay? And this can also pertain to your religious beliefs and your spiritual beliefs. You'll be thinking a lot about where these concepts impact your life and whether you actually subscribe to certain beliefs anymore. Now, on a different level, some of you who are currently studying, whether that's at college or university, you might even be doing a master's program or a PhD, you might be inclined to have a total change in direction, okay? You might change courses, or it doesn't have to be as dramatic as changing these courses. It could simply be that you're reconsidering what topics you want to study or what you want your papers to be on, like big assignments that you're doing. This is a kind of a boring start to my horoscope, but just bear with me because shocking stuff is happening later in the month. Now, for some of you, with Mercury being retrograde in the 9th house, there can be huge changes to your travel plans. If you are currently living abroad or you are traveling anytime during February, things can go wrong, okay? So just double check all of your paperwork and documentation. When I say things going wrong, I don't mean like, you know, anything devastating happening. It could be as simple as you get to the airport and you forget your passport, or you booked accommodation for a certain date and surprise, that date is like 1 month in the future and you've mixed that all up. I've definitely done that before. Now, for some of you, if you have booked travel insurance, just be mindful that you have got that period of time being blocked out for the dates that you're actually traveling. And also another way that this can play out is that if you work in import or export or the publishing industry, like the publication of books or newspapers or whatever, import and export could be anything, just double check everything at work, go through all your emails, make sure that any important dates or business plans that you have in place, or even like deadlines, especially with publishing, just make sure that all of those are neat and tidy, and go over it with a fine-tooth comb, not once, not twice, but thrice. Now, on the 2nd of February, Venus will enter the sign of Aquarius, and this will be in your 9th house. So wherever Venus goes, we can enjoy the effects of Venus's presence there. So you can enjoy learning, you can enjoy exploring philosophical ideas and concepts. You will enjoy expanding your worldview, and some of you may even be enjoying spending time with your father. I really can't say the word enjoy anymore in this reading, but just going back to Mercury in retrograde, given that the 9th house also rules your father in your personal horoscope, you could actually be rethinking your whole relationship with your dad. And if you are estranged from him, you may hear from him unexpectedly, or you may surprise yourself by reaching out to him, because Mercury, as I said, is your ruling planet, and therefore Mercury is you. Wherever Mercury goes, that's what you're doing and where you're going. So some of you may reach out to your dad. Now, on the 12th of February, there will be a new moon in Aquarius, and again, this will be in your 9th house. New moons always bring about new beginnings in some capacity, or the start of a new chapter. So this new beginning will take seed within 4 weeks of that date. Okay, so between the 12th of February till around mid-March, you may start a new chapter in relation to education, okay, whether that is going to university, taking up a new course. Some of you may actually be picking back up a course of study, back to the Mercury retrograde. I just can't get away from it. If you were studying something, you may revisit that during the month of February. But with the new moon in Aquarius, some of you will embark upon a journey to becoming a teacher, a spiritual leader. The 9th house also rules religion, so some of you may be looking at dedicating your life to becoming a pastor, a priest, a nun, a rabbi, you name it, anything under the umbrella term religion. We can see a new beginning taking place for you. It doesn't have to be in relation to becoming a spiritual figure. Some of you may be joining a new religion or getting involved in a spiritual practice. On another level, the 9th house rules travel. So some of you will be looking at relocating abroad. It might even be relocating overseas for study purposes, like to go to a university in another country. And certainly something to bear in mind is that, as I mentioned at the beginning of this part, it's about planting the seeds, okay? I'm not saying that you're going to move abroad within a month. We often see the culmination of a new moon cycle take place 6 months later when we see the full moon cycle, and it can even be up to 18 months later, okay? So all of those outcomes may take place either in 6 months time, or close to the 6-month mark, or even within 18 months. Now, on the 18th of February, Pisces season will commence when we see the sun leaving the sign of Aquarius and entering Pisces in your 10th house. Wherever the sun goes, it really lights up whatever that house rules. And with the 10th house, it's all about your career, your public visibility, and your reputation, okay, in a nutshell. So you will be more noticeable in the public eye. You'll be very visible as well. I know that might sound weird, but it's essentially like you are able to hold an audience and stand out as someone who is unique and intelligent. So this can be at a conference, at a meeting, if you're delivering any kind of speech, if you're addressing the public at large, certainly if you're already in the public eye, okay, whether you are in a role of public service, you could be the CEO of a big company, you could be a celebrity, all right. If you are already in the public eye, you're even more noticeable now, and certainly some of you Geminis will get a chance at that piece of the pie. So it's a good time to put yourself out there, all right? Now, also on the 18th of February, we will see the biggest astrological event for the whole of 2021 take place. This is the Saturn square Uranus transit. And this transit will actually hit 3 times. The first is on the 18th of February. The second time that this square will take place will be on the 15th of June. And the third time will be on the 24th of December. Now, just bear in mind that I am using Australian Eastern Standard Times for all of the dates that I put out here, okay? But anyway, back to how this is going to affect you. Saturn in Aquarius will be in your 9th house, okay, which I've obviously just discussed at length, travel, education, worldviews, squaring Uranus in your 12th house. Now, the 12th house is associated with spirituality, anything that we do in solitude, I suppose you could say, whether that is meditation, spending time in your bedroom, even if you work in any kind of secluded place like a prison or a spa retreat or a hotel, all of these things are connected to the 12th house. And the 12th house is also about related to any kind of phobia or subconscious, suppressed emotions, fears, phobias, anything which is sort of hidden from us. So the way that this square can take place for you Geminis, now I'm going to give you a few different ways that this can manifest, because this is a general reading and not all of these will apply, so take what resonates and leave what doesn't. The one that is the most obvious to me is a spiritual awakening, because as I said, the 9th house is about your spiritual beliefs, your worldviews, your religious beliefs, and the 12th house is heavily connected to spirituality. So some of you may experience a spiritual awakening as a result of traveling abroad, okay, whether that's traveling for a holiday or you've relocated to another country. Somehow these events trigger you to just have a totally different mindset when it comes to taking care of your needs and really doing a lot of introspective work, and even delving into psychological issues that you may have. This can also result, the spiritual awakening I should say, can also result from meditation practice, yoga, or even an experience with an astrologer or a tarot reader or a psychic, or anyone who works in spirituality or in the occult industry. Now, some of you may be leaving a church that you are a part of, or any spiritual group that you are a part of, which is a result of this total change in belief systems and worldviews. Now, Gemini, the reason why this astrological transit is so hard-hitting is because Saturn and Uranus could not be more opposite in nature. Uranus loves anything which is modern, new, bucking tradition, bucking conventionality. Is that a word? Anything that's conventional, okay? And Uranus loves modernity, science, new tech, new ideas. It's very futuristic, it's very progressive and avant-garde. Now with Saturn, Saturn loves structure, traditions, solid foundations, and working at something for a very long time and doing all of the small steps necessary to build something up. So really, I see this as kind of a tower moment if you're familiar with the tarot. in layman's terms, old structures which are built on rocky foundations which are not solid cannot survive. Anything which was built on a foundation of mistruths, misunderstandings, not being wholeheartedly invested in something, Uranus will just come and destroy it. And that's not to scare you, Gemini. This change is actually quite exciting. And I know you Geminis love change anyway, so you guys are probably like, oh my God, over there. But anyway, this can still play out in other ways which are different from, spiritual awakening and things that are not related to church and spirituality. Some of you may simply have a huge psychological breakthrough, okay? And that is shown by Uranus being in your 12th house, representing the subconscious part of you, okay? So a psychological breakthrough, because we have Mars there as well in the 12th house, and Mars rules sharp objects. So we're really seeing the veil being pierced through when it comes to any kind of emotional issue which you may have repressed. And this breakthrough affects your long-term visions for your future as shown by your 9th house. You're suddenly able to see the bigger picture. You're suddenly able to see why long-term plans that you have been making in the past have been flawed, or where there have been things like not adding up or not making sense, but you were never sure why these things never worked out. Suddenly you have an aha moment, right? And this square between Saturn and Uranus will be quite shocking, because Uranus rules anything which is sudden and swift, like swift upheaval and sudden nature, okay? So this particular square, the results of it may even shock you, even though it will be a necessary change which is coming into your life. It will be drastic and it will be sudden, and it may take you by surprise. Now, anyone who is already involved in any of the following industries, okay? So if you have careers in any of the following industries: travel, education, university professor, whatever, the law, if you're a teacher, if you're a priest, a pastor, again, rabbi, I don't know, that's just what comes to me first, or any kind of guru or anyone in the spiritual community, your path in life in connection to this career can be completely and totally altered, right? You might walk away from your life as you know it in relation to those industries or those sectors. You might actually take a huge sabbatical. You may have a whole year off from whatever your commitments are. You may even take like a really long career break, even for years. Some of you in these industries might actually have a sudden change of heart, where you now want to go and pursue something which is quite artistic and creative in nature, because the 12th house rules artists, creativity, photography, acting, politics. You might have been a judge or a university professor, and now you're trying your hand at politics or acting. Whatever it is, it will be like an earth-shattering change in your life. Now, on the 21st of February, we will see Mercury being direct in Aquarius. So this is in your 10th house. Now, sorry, your 9th house. Now, with Mercury being direct here, documents that you were waiting for in relation to travel, moving abroad, it might even be citizenship or visas, or changing courses with uni or study. Any documents that you are waiting on can be returned to you after the 21st of February. However, we will have a post-shadow period for 2 weeks, and that means that you really want to wait till after the first week of March for things to well and truly settle down when it comes to the effects of Mercury retrograde. On a different level, you might actually come to a concrete conclusion about these belief systems that you have been really contemplating at length. Now, on the 26th of February, Venus will enter the sign of Pisces. So in the public eye, you will come across as charming and diplomatic. And this is actually a great time to approach your boss about a promotion, a raise, and taking on more leadership at work. Lastly, Gemini, on the 27th of February, we will have a full moon in Virgo at 8 degrees, and this will be in your 4th house of your home life, your current living circumstances, and the 4th house is also connected to your deep emotional state and your parents as well. Full moons always bring about the ending of a cycle and something coming full circle or completion in some way. So some of you may actually be selling a property, right? And this might be in connection or like motivated by something to do with your career, or it doesn't have to be selling a property. You could even be moving house, whether you're renting, but there might be some kind of connection here to moving for work or selling a property because maybe you've taken a bit of a slash to your pay and now you've got to sell up some assets or some property. On a totally different level, you may actually receive information that you've been waiting for, that you've already like submitted or whatever documentation in relation to your heritage, your lineage, or anything to do with finding out where your roots are from. Now, on a completely different level, any issues that you may have had with a parent can come to some kind of resolution finally. Okay, Gemini, that's all I have for you for February 2021. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you'd like to see more content from me, please subscribe to K-Astrology. If you want to check out your February 2021 tarot predictions for your zodiac sign, I will leave a link at the end screen after this video. Enjoy February, and I will see you guys next month.